All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and talk about part 2 of function notation. And basically what that is just taking a domain and finding all the range values. So if you could pause the video here and get these notes written down, you should be taking notes in Cornell style, like we always do every day in every class. Make sure you get the title, function notation, and the I can statement. All right, so here we have f of x equals x squared plus 5. I want to use that function to find the range given this domain here. The domain is -5, -3, 2, and 4. The question is, what is the range value? Okay. So for each domain, there should be a range value, and the way we're going to find that is we could actually set this up as a table like we did yesterday, where you can just find one domain at a value at a time. So my first domain value is -5, so I'm going to substitute in -5. Remember that when we substitute a domain value in to a function, it's going to give us a range value. So when we substitute in -5, we're going to get x squared plus 5, where -5 is the x value. Now work this out. F of -5 equals, well, -5 squared is -5 times -5. That's a positive 25. And I bring down this plus 5 here, and 25 plus 5 is 30. So f of -5 is 30. So we have the domain value here. That's the domain. That's the input. And we got this as an output. That makes this the range value. So our first range value is 30. Now we're going to do a different one. Change colors here. We're going to go for -3 now. So now I need to find f of -3. We're still going to follow suit with x squared plus 5. I'm substituting out x squared plus 5. This time x is -3. So f of -3 equals -3 squared. That's -3 times -3, which is a positive 9, plus 5. So f of -3 equals 9 plus 5, which is 14. Again, this was my domain value. This must be my range value. That's input and output. So my new range value is 14 here. Let's try another one. We've done -5 and -3, so let's go through f of 2 now. Looking at f of 2, it's going to be x squared plus 5, where x is 2. 2 squared is 2 times 2, which is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. Once again, domain value, range values. The range value is 9. And lastly, let's do that last domain value. Last domain value is 4. So now I need to find f of 4. It's going to be x squared plus 5, where x is 4. That's my domain value. So 4 squared is 16. It's 4 times 4 plus 5. So f of 4 is 21. All right, again, I have a domain value, and I get my output, which is a range value. So I'm going to add that up here to my range value. Now there is something a little off about this range value here. I'm going to copy this really quick so we can take a look at this. Just going to scroll down a little bit. Get this right here. Something a little off about this range. We talked about this in class a while back. I want to make sure that this range value, the range values are from least to greatest is all. This is perfectly fine to tell me these are the range values, but I would really prefer if you put it from least to greatest. So we're going to say that the range is the set of the numbers, starting with my lowest number, 9, 14, 21, and then 30. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the range for all the domain. Let's take a look at one more example, and then you guys should be good and golden to finish the exit ticket. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video now and try doing this on your own, and then finish watching the video to see how you did. All right, let's do this one. F of x equals 2x plus x squared. This looks a little daunting, but if you have a calculator, it should actually go fairly easy. We're going to start with my first domain value, -3. So I need to find f of -3 if I want the range value. F of x is 2 times x plus x squared. And I'm leaving parentheses open because I'm about to substitute. X is -3. So I'm going to put -3 in my parentheses. Again, they're just taking the spots of the x's. And work out line by line. F of -3 equals 2 times -3 is -6. And then -3 times -3 is a positive 9. So f of -3 equals 3. It's my first domain value, my first range value. This is my domain, and this is my range. Next one, change the colors here. Next one, I need to look up f of 0. If I want to find the range, I need to look for f of 0. Again, that's 2 times x plus x squared, where x is 0. F of 0 equals 2 times 0, which is 0. 0 squared is also 0, so f of 0 is 0. Okay, there's my second range value. Again, input, output, range, and domain there. Change the color again on my pen. We're going to use this color to look for f of 1. F of 1 equals 2 times 1 plus 1 squared. Again, just replacing the x's with 1 this time. So f of 1 equals 2 times 1 is 2, and 1 squared is positive 1, and 2 plus 1 is 3. Got another input, domain of x gets an output, a range of 3. And lastly, we need to find the domain value. With the domain value of 5, we need to find the range. It's going to be f of 5 this time equals 2 times x plus x squared, where x is 5. So f of 5 equals 2 times 5, which is 10, and 5 squared is 25. So f of 5 equals 10 plus 25, which is 35. So we have all of our domain values paired up with our range values. And to write this as the domain and the range, we already have the domain. Now we need to write the range. The range is the set of numbers starting at the lowest number. So it looks like 0. It takes care of this one right here. Then my next one's going to be 3 and 3. Remember, when we're doing set notation with domain and range, we do not need to repeat. So it takes care of this one and this one. And then lastly, 35. And that is the set of my y values called the range. All right, don't forget to pick up that exit ticket and finish it before the end of class. You guys can review through this video again if you need help on that. All right, good luck, guys. Have a good one.